In the world of business, respect and professionalism are just as important as financial strategy and market growth. A recent shocking incident at a high-profile tech summit has proven this point in the most powerful way. The story revolves around two influential leaders, a black female CEO who built her company from the ground up, and a white male CEO leading one of the biggest technology corporations in the world. The event that took place not only destroyed a potential $7.8 billion merger but also sent a strong message about dignity, equality, and the value of leadership beyond numbers. The tech summit was supposed to be a celebration of innovation, collaboration, and future opportunities in the global technology space. Industry giants, investors, and government representatives were present, waiting to witness the announcement of one of the largest mergers in the sector. The deal, valued at $7.8 billion, would have created a powerhouse company capable of changing the digital economy. Everything seemed perfect, until a single moment of disrespect changed the entire course of history. During a panel discussion, when the black CEO was presenting her vision for the future, the white CEO interrupted her speech with a mocking comment about her leadership style and background. The words were dismissive, belittling, and carried an undertone of racism that did not go unnoticed by the audience. Cameras captured the expression on her face, the silence in the hall, and the sudden tension that spread across the summit. What was supposed to be a celebration turned into a moment of humiliation. But instead of reacting with anger or confrontation, the black CEO displayed calm confidence. She allowed the session to finish without escalating the situation. However, once she returned to her team and advisors, she made a bold and irreversible decision. With dignity and clarity, she announced that her company would withdraw from the $7.8 billion merger. She stated that no partnership, no matter how financially valuable, was worth sacrificing self-respect, equality, and values. Her decision sent shockwaves throughout the tech world. Analysts were stunned. Investors who had been eagerly waiting for the deal to boost stock prices were left speechless. Yet, despite the financial implications, many applauded her courage. Social media platforms exploded with support, praising her for choosing dignity over dollars. Hashtags like #respect in business and #leadership with dignity trended worldwide. Business experts later noted that this decision will be remembered as a turning point in corporate culture. It highlighted that modern leadership is not just about profits, but also about principles. The incident reminded everyone that disrespect, arrogance, and racism have no place in boardrooms or summits, and that true power lies in walking away from those who fail to recognize the value of respect. In the end, the black CEO's action became more than just a business decision. It became a symbol of empowerment, a reminder that sometimes the most profitable choice is not measured in billions, but in integrity, courage, and the legacy you leave behind. The global technology industry thrives on innovation, strategy, and partnerships that can redefine markets. But sometimes, it is not technology or economics that dominate headlines, it is human behavior and dignity. At the recent International Tech Summit, the much-anticipated merger between two leading companies collapsed in dramatic fashion, leaving behind lessons about respect, leadership, and the strength of personal principles. For weeks, the business world had been buzzing with excitement. A $7.8 billion merger between two tech giants was expected to be announced at the summit. The partnership promised to revolutionize digital infrastructure, expand global markets, and create a new wave of technological breakthroughs. Both CEOs had spent months negotiating, finalizing details, and preparing for the historic announcement. The summit was supposed to be a celebration of unity and progress. However, what unfolded was anything but celebratory. During a high-profile panel session, the white CEO of the larger firm made what seemed, at first, like a casual joke. But very quickly, it became clear that his words carried a mocking and dismissive tone directed at the black female CEO sitting next to him. His remark questioned her ability to lead at a global scale, reducing years of her hard work and achievements to a stereotype. The room fell silent. Attendees shifted uncomfortably in their seats. Cameras captured the awkward moment, and within seconds, clips of the incident spread across social media. What was meant to be a day of celebration turned into a public display of disrespect and arrogance. The black CEO, however, did not respond with anger or confrontation. She calmly completed the panel session, her composure reflecting strength and dignity. Behind the scenes, though, her decision was swift and firm. She called an emergency meeting with her board and advisors, and within hours, she announced her company's withdrawal from the $7.8 billion merger. Her statement was clear: no partnership is worth sacrificing respect and equality. We cannot align ourselves with leadership that fails to value dignity. The decision shook the summit. Investors gasped as stock values wavered, journalists rushed to rewrite headlines, and social media platforms exploded with reactions. While some critics argued that the decision would cost her company billions in future growth, the overwhelming majority of voices praised her stance. Hashtags like #DignityFirst, #LeadershipMatters, and #TechSummit drama began trending worldwide. Analysts quickly pointed out that this incident marked a turning point in corporate history. It proved that in today's interconnected world, leaders are judged not only by their financial success but by their values and character. Walking away from the merger may have been a financial sacrifice, but it was a cultural victory, one that reminded businesses everywhere that respect is non-negotiable. In the days that followed, the Black CEO's reputation soared. She became a symbol of courage and principle, proving that true leadership is not about compromising values for profit, but about standing tall even when billions are at stake. The Tech Summit will now be remembered not for the deal that could have been, but for the drama that reshaped the conversation on leadership and respect in global business. Business history is filled with stories of big deals that collapsed due to financial risks, market conditions, or regulatory issues. But rarely does a deal worth $7.8 billion fall apart because of a single remark. That is exactly what happened at the recent Global Tech Summit, where a public insult led to one of the most shocking cancellations in corporate history. The summit had been advertised as a stage for innovation and partnership. Industry leaders, investors, and entrepreneurs gathered to witness what was expected to be a groundbreaking announcement: the merger of two powerful technology companies. The deal promised to create a global powerhouse, combining resources, talent, and networks to redefine the future of digital infrastructure. Expectations were sky high, but as the saying goes, one careless word can undo years of effort. During a keynote panel, the white male CEO of the larger corporation made a remark directed at his counterpart, a black female CEO. Instead of highlighting collaboration, his comment belittled her leadership, mocking her background and implying she lacked the global experience needed for such a massive partnership. The insult may have been delivered with a smile, but the impact was anything but lighthearted. The audience fell silent. Social media users who caught the live stream began clipping the exchange, and within minutes, hashtags like #insult at the summit and #respect in business started to trend. What should have been a historic business moment quickly turned into a global scandal. The black CEO handled the moment with grace. She did not retaliate on stage or confront her counterpart in public. Instead, she maintained her professionalism, finishing the session with calm authority. However, behind closed doors, she made a decision that stunned the business world. Her company would walk away from the $7.8 billion merger immediately. Her announcement came through an official press release within hours of the incident. Partnerships must be built on mutual respect, she stated. No financial opportunity can justify aligning with leadership that fails to value equality and dignity. The consequences were immediate. Stock analysts scrambled to assess the financial damage. Investors who had expected a surge in value now faced uncertainty. The white CEO's company was suddenly under pressure, not only from the market but also from employees and shareholders demanding accountability for the reckless remark. Meanwhile, the black CEO's company gained immense respect across industries, with many praising her courage and principle. Commentators pointed out that the cancellation wasn't just about one deal, it was about setting a precedent. Her decision reinforced the idea that in modern business, culture, respect, and values are just as important as profits. It also sent a message that corporate leaders can no longer afford to ignore the power of social accountability in a digital era where every word and action is recorded, shared, and judged instantly. The $7.8 billion merger may have vanished, but the incident left behind a far greater impact. The black CEO emerged not only as a successful business leader but also as a symbol of integrity and strength. Her refusal to compromise dignity for dollars will be remembered as a defining moment in business history, a reminder that respect is priceless, and without it, even billion-dollar deals can crumble. In the fast-paced world of global business, multi-billion-dollar mergers are usually canceled because of regulatory blocks, financial instability, or strategic disagreements. Rarely does one collapse because of a single humiliating moment. But at the International Tech Summit, that is exactly what happened when a black CEO, after being publicly mocked by her white counterpart, made the bold choice to end a $7.8 billion merger. The summit was buzzing with anticipation. Reporters, investors, and executives had gathered to witness the signing of a deal that had been months in the making. The merger promised not only massive profits but also a transformation in the digital technology sector. Both companies had prepared statements, media campaigns, and strategic roadmaps. The stage was set for history. But history took a different turn. During a high-profile panel discussion, the white male CEO made a dismissive remark aimed at the black female CEO. What he intended as light banter quickly revealed itself to be an arrogant and belittling insult. His words questioned her ability to lead on a global scale, reducing her achievements to stereotypes and undermining her authority in front of thousands of people, both in the hall and online. The audience froze. The moment was captured on cameras, streamed live to millions, and dissected across social media within minutes. The humiliation was not just personal, it was public, undeniable, and unforgettable. What happened next was a lesson in leadership. The black CEO, instead of responding emotionally, maintained her composure. She completed her segment with professionalism, never letting her voice shake or her confidence falter. But behind the scenes, she called an urgent meeting with her board of directors. Hours later, she delivered a decision that would shake the entire business world. Her company was walking away from the $7.8 billion merger. Her official statement was powerful and direct. Leadership is about more than numbers. It is about respect, integrity, and vision. We cannot and will not partner with anyone who undermines these values. Public humiliation has no place in professional collaboration. Therefore, we are ending all discussions regarding the merger. The announcement spread like wildfire. While some market analysts worried about the financial impact, the overwhelming response from the public and many industry leaders was one of admiration. Social media lit up with support, turning the CEO into a symbol of dignity and empowerment. Hashtags like #stand for respect, #leadership with integrity, and #dignity over dollars trended for days. The white CEO's company, on the other hand, faced a storm. Investors demanded accountability. Employees expressed disappointment. The incident sparked debates about arrogance, racism, and the lack of inclusivity in corporate leadership. What could have been a story of progress became a cautionary tale about the cost of disrespect. In the end, the black CEO's choice to cancel the deal was more than just a business move. It was a declaration that self-respect cannot be traded for billions. Her decision reminded the world that true leadership is not measured only by profits but by the ability to walk away from partnerships that compromise values. The $7.8 billion deal may have ended, but her stance created something far more valuable, a legacy of courage, dignity, and unshakable strength. Business deals worth billions are usually undone by legal challenges, antitrust regulations, or financial disagreements. But at the recent Global Tech Summit, a different force destroyed one of the most anticipated mergers in history, racism. A careless, condescending remark ended a $7.8 billion merger, shaking the business world and sparking a global conversation about respect and equality in leadership. The summit had promised to be a milestone event. Two technology giants were preparing to announce a historic partnership that could reshape digital markets and create an innovation powerhouse. Industry analysts, investors, and journalists were ready for headlines celebrating collaboration and progress. Instead, they got a front-row seat to one of the most shocking collapses in corporate history. The turning point came during a panel discussion, when the white male CEO of the larger company mocked his counterpart, a black female CEO, with a racially charged remark. Delivered with a smug tone and disguised as humor, the comment reduced her years of leadership, resilience, and success to a stereotype. The silence that followed in the packed auditorium said everything. Within minutes, clips of the exchange flooded social media. Hashtags like #racism in business, #respect matters, and #tech summit scandal exploded across platforms. Viewers around the world condemned the insult, demanding accountability. What should have been a celebration of innovation had become a public relations nightmare. The black CEO, however, responded not with outrage, but with strength. She finished the session with grace, refusing to let the moment define her in real time. But when the cameras were off, she made a historic decision: her company would withdraw from the $7.8 billion merger. Her statement was brief but powerful. Equality and respect are not negotiable. We will not partner with leadership that fails to honor these principles. Our dignity is worth more than any deal. The announcement shocked the financial world. Investors, who had been eagerly awaiting record profits, suddenly found themselves scrambling to reassess their positions. The white CEO's company faced immediate backlash from shareholders, employees, and the public. Analysts warned that beyond the financial loss, the company now carried a stain on its reputation that could linger for years. Meanwhile, the black CEO's decision was hailed as an act of courage and integrity. Support poured in from across industries, governments, and social activists. Commentators noted that she had done what few business leaders dared to do: put values above billions. Her refusal to compromise sent a powerful message that resonated far beyond the boardroom. It became a symbol of resistance against racism in all its forms. The incident will likely be remembered as a watershed moment in corporate culture. It showed that in today's interconnected, transparent world, racism is not just a moral failure but also a business liability. Companies that ignore respect, inclusivity, and equality risk not only public outrage but also financial collapse. In the end, the $7.8 billion merger was not lost because of numbers or contracts. It was lost because of arrogance, disrespect, and racism. And while one company paid the price in billions, another CEO walked away with something far more valuable: a legacy of strength, dignity, and unshakable principles.